Testing, 1, 2, 3, testing. Hello and welcome back to my channel. Thanks so much for stopping by. For this one, once again, I do want to apologize for the last stream. Hopefully it won't happen again. But for this one, I'm going to go ahead and just kind of do this cute little quick sketch of Lilo and Stitch. If you haven't watched the live action, I highly recommend just not watching it. I'm so sorry. To me, it was just bad. And it really just butchered our main characters, and I rather not put you guys through that little mental Olympics, just like how I was put through that mental Olympics. So we'll just kind of save it. But just a heads up, I probably will be ranting here and there as the video is playing, just because, I kind of wanted to express my thoughts on it. And of course, if you guys are a fan of the original Lilo and Stitch, just like how I was, the disappointment is real. Which is why I'm trying my hardest not to, in a way, I guess, do too much. So, just give me 1 second while I try to figure this out. I'm going to look for some music to play, and then we can go ahead and get everything done. Alright, let me see. Okay.
Make a decision.
And then once again, apologies for the ads. I just really, it just has to play every now and then. Alright, now while this is started, let me actually go ahead and fix something right here. Hopefully the internet connection stays strong on YouTube, and if not, I'll still be streaming on TikTok. There we go. Now, just refreshing a little bit on TikTok. Sorry, on YouTube. Yay, perfect. Okay. So now I am going to fast forward a bit just because it does take me some time. And that should be good. Alrighty, so yeah. So if those of you who haven't watched the live action for Lilo and Stitch, again, you can watch it, but again, just going into watching it, I would just kind of be prepared for some changes. Most people I know are kind of going it just to kind of see what the changes are, and then after that, they're giving their own little cute thoughts. If you have a Discord, if you have some type of just kind of chat channel, I would recommend going on there just to talk about it. The new live action Lilo and Stitch is just, it's just the direction they took with it is completely different. And of course, it is what's to be expected. Disney has really missed the bar when it comes to the live actions. And I just honestly don't know why they keep making them. Especially, I know Snow White flopped, but then with Lilo and Stitch, they're probably just like, oh yeah, Lilo and Stitch is gonna save it. But in actuality, it didn't. And so that happened. Again, just sad to say, it was just disappointing. And so I'm trying not to spoil too much of the movie, just because I know the internet has spoiled some of the movie already. But it has been confirmed, and I know because I watched it. Gantu, the alien that's supposed to be the main villain that was in the original movie, is not going to be in the movie, or he's not in the movie. And then they took away Jumba's accent, so instead of sounding like that really cool, kooky mad scientist, he's not. And it kind of doesn't make any sense, especially since that was the whole theme that they were kind of going for. Another thing is, I guess, Cobra Bubbles is also going to be different. Again, really, really, really just kind of wished that they had gone to a much more better direction with everything. But since they didn't, it was just kind of a mess. Pleakley's not cross dressing like he did before. Um, and I guess I understand it for, certain reasons, but that was just kind of the whole thing. Like, we all grew up watching this. And again, if there's nothing wrong with the script, just stick to it. And if you do make changes, don't make them so different and severe that it kind of changes the whole plot of the movie. And then at the same time, when you think about it, if you're going to make those types of significant amount of changes, you might as well have just made your own original movie. Disney used to do it all the time on Disney Channel. So it doesn't make any sense why they did it here. But, I digress. It's lots of budgeting, cuts. When it came to certain effects in the movie, I guess I can understand why they had to cut certain characters out and why they had to tone some things down. But at the end of the day, if you're going to make a basic adapted live action adaptation of what was originally a really just mind blowing, a changing 2D cartoon, stick to it as closely and as much as possible. Follow the pacing as closely and as much as possible, and then just make sure everything, like, there was nothing wrong with it. People love Lilo and Stitch. People love Stitch, so as long as you're very just significant to the original plot point, you're good. Disney was just very much, of course it was a cash grab, but it's like, you guys are real just idiots. I'm sorry. It's just really bad. And so I'm gonna go watch it again with my friend just to kind of get her critiques, and then watch it again with my other friend just kind of get his critique. But in all actuality, it was just, they could have done better. Just make your own original movie or original film, but don't take it from Lilo and Stitch. It just doesn't make any sense. Disney is really something. Hey T Lee, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. Hello, welcome for those of you joining in. I'm streaming on both TikTok and YouTube, so that's why I'm kind of ranting a little bit for Lilo and Stitch as I'm doing these sketches, playing back the video. Basically, I just wanted to do some fan art of the OG Lilo and Stitch. We're gonna start the coloring process on another stream. But I also wanted to give my own thoughts about the movie. If you guys have already watched the movie, go ahead and just kind of leave it in the chat about your thoughts and your opinions about it. I'm just curious to see how other people feel about it, just because I myself didn't really like it all that much. Again, they kind of changed the characters. The actors, of course, they did their best for what it was. They're just kind of like following the script and just doing however they feel. Lilo, the little girl who played her, very cute. She did a good job. But again, they changed the script a little bit. And if she had just stayed more closely dedicated to the character from the 2D movie, from the original, it would have been a lot better because we're getting the same tone. And then the person who played Nani, I feel like she did pretty good. She did her best. However, because of the changes that they did with her, it feels like a different character. It doesn't exactly feel like the same Nani. And that's why, for her acting, I'm going to say it was alright. But for the actual character itself, it just wasn't. It just wasn't it. And then that's kind of how we got here. And so, with all the changes and everything happening, I kind of felt like, again, they just should have just left it alone. They should have just left it alone, and they should have just kind of kept it how it was and not overcomplicate things too much. But it is what it is. I digress. and hopefully, I heard that they are still working on some more live actions. I don't know if they're trying to do live actions of all of the Disney movies, but if they do, then I guess I don't recommend it. They really just butchered it, and I really think they should just leave it alone, if that makes sense. Oh gosh. Thanks. Perfect. Hello, welcome. Thanks so much for tuning in. Welcome. Ooh. I just find it very interesting. And I really do wish they would have just left it alone. But yes, it's just they really should have just it was alright. It was alright for what it was. Another movie that I really do want to check out that's coming out today, actually. So if you guys are anime fans or if you like anime, I highly, highly, highly recommend checking out Don 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 or Don Don Don. That's also coming out today. I'm planning to go see it. I really do. It's basically a continuation of the manga instead of doing the episodes. I think they're turning the episodes kind of into a movie just to carry on with the rest of the story going into the new season. And so I am excited about seeing that, and hopefully it will make up for the whole Lilo and Stitch debacle. Another movie, for those of you who are really tuned with the classics, Final Destination Blood Ties. I watched it. It was alright. It was pretty good. I haven't watched like a good Final Destination movie in a while, just simply because they did cut, or they did kind of was on hiatus with the whole movie series for a while. But it is good to see that they kind of put everything back in there. So I also recommend watching it as well. And then if you guys are in tune with the lore of Final Destination, you guys can check that out too. But yeah, I hear it's really good. I saw that one. And then I'm just waiting for the other movie lists to pop up again. Another movie that I'm actually super excited to see is Demon Slayer. That's going to be coming out pretty soon in the summer, and so I'm also going to take time to watch that and just really get into it. Again, super excited. They're going after Muzan and they're doing some recaps, and so I can't wait to just sit in theaters and really watch it as well. This summer, usually I just like to watch movies and of course do other different types of activities, but the movie scene is really where I'm at, and so we'll see what good ones are coming out the remainder of this year going into next year, and then we'll see how everything turns out. But yeah, it's a nice debreather, and then it also kind of really gets into it as well. Another thing that I'm super duper interested in, I guess more art and sketch related. I'm trying to go to some of the conventions of some of my favorite artists that I also follow. And so I know Neil Illustrator, she recently came back. I think she came back, but I'll have to double check her channel. But she was at a convention. I really wanted to get some more of her merch. And then of course, Sketchy, she also, I believe she's going to be doing some more conventions this year. I'm not 1010% sure, but if not, then apologies for my bad source material. This is really the time that I'm trying to go out more just to get more of the stuff and support other fellow artists. And so I just really want to get into it, and then watch some movies at the same time. So if anyone knows how to do really great fan art of some of your favorite things, just go ahead and let me know. And then also happy Pride Month as well, and also happy Men's Mental Health Awareness Month as well. I just want to shout that out there, just because I know probably every day or every year it is a difficult time, not just for ourselves but just other people as well. And so just kind of putting that awareness out there is super important. If there's someone that you know that's going through a hard time, don't be afraid to reach out to them and also just kind of see how they're doing. And then of course, if you have any special animes or just special artists, cartoons that you follow that do lots of pride stuff, go ahead and let me know, and then maybe we can talk about it and share. I really do like Vizzy Pop and Hell of a Boss. Hazbin Hotel is good, however, just with pacing and budgeting wise, I understand why she feels like she was a bit rushed. So props to her for trying to do as best as she can with her characters. And so I might play some of those clips here and there as we're streaming as well. So yeah, I just really wanted to kind of get into it. Hey Bray, thanks so much for the follow. Welcome. I just wanted to get so much into it, and also just kind of throw those little shout outs there, just because. But yes, I'm not gonna get into anything else political that's in the air, but if you know, or if you know a cool community to join on Discord, go ahead and let me know. And then I'll also try to check it out and see as well. I'm trying to set up my Discord just to kind of share art, and then also try to get into filling tomatoes, like kind of little art tip guides and everything, just because I know that those things are interesting as well. But yeah. So for this one, this is just the sketching process for the Lilo and Stitch art that I'm doing right here. Sorry. This is also why I don't really talk as much during my streams. My voice cracks a lot. But this is basically the sketching process, and then a little bit later into the video, you'll see me start to ink things out. I won't, I'll probably skip some parts here and there, just because I know that this will take a while. And then on the next stream, we'll start the coloring process. That's definitely going to take a good amount of time, and so I'll really try to set aside a good portion or hour in order to kind of get all that stuff in. And then also, I'm still working on just making sure YouTube is staying kind of up to date in terms of keeping the stream going. I know last time I didn't get to finish the painting process on my YouTube. I don't know what happened. It kind of just went for too long, I guess, or it was the connection, but I'll try to fix it. And again, I'll try to post the speed paints or just kind of like a faster version video on it, so that way it won't be as taxing as that, if that makes sense. And then that way people get to see the full process instead of it just kind of cutting and interrupting like that. But yeah. Oh god, I don't know what's going on in Paris, but I really hope they kind of fix it. This is really bad. Kind of like the Lilo and Stitch live action. Okay, perfect. And so just a little breakdown for what I'm drawing over here. So basically this is a Lilo and Stitch kind of fan art, just kind of more dedicated to the original movie and not the live action. So I put in like core scenes from the movie that, in my opinion, really did represent what the actual theme of the movie was about, which is Ohana. Hi, Digit. Thanks so much for dropping by. Hi. Perfect. And so, again, the whole theme of the movie is Ohana. And Ohana means family. And of course, if you haven't watched the live action, I'm not going to spoil too much of it. But again, there are some things that are contradicting the theme. I do understand it from the perspective and the direction that they were trying to go with. Because at the end of the day, I get it. It was a lot. And for any, person basically straight out of high school, it's going to be difficult to do what Nani was trying to do. However, that's kind of was the whole point of the original film, and the whole reason why we watched it was because Nani did basically what it was difficult for most people to do, and she didn't give up on it. And so when they went that direction that they went to, it was just kind of like, okay, I get it, but that's not the movie, and that's not what happened, and then that's not Nani, and so it was just very interesting. And so key scenes from the original movie, like basically what I'm drawing here, which was the flower scene where she's talking to Lilo and she's trying to have a conversation. She says it doesn't matter like where we are, we're always going to be family, we're always going to be close by each other, until we meet again and everything. It kind of, you can feel the emotion and you can just feel how heartbroken she was, when Cobra Bubbles threatened to take Lilo away. And so in terms of like those kind of key moments in the movie from the original movie, and then you have that, the emotion, the devastation, and the raw, just everything that she felt at that time, and then you compare it to what's now in the live action film, it kind of gets you thinking, okay, I get it, I hear you. Nani, she does need to have her own life, sure, but again, the original movie, and then it going to another movie, and then it going to the original Disney series, because again, they have a cartoon show, they have a TV series. Hello, you see kind of more into with the life that they went through, and you also see how they made it work, and then how it actually operated. And then that's how slowly but surely Jamba and Pleakley also became part of Lilo and Nani's family along with Stitch. And so again, it was just very confusing with the direction that they went with. I have to ask one more time, what was the point? Why did you make the changes that you made, and why didn't you just stick to the original script? It's not that difficult, but it is what it is. It was just, I don't want to say funny, but it was just interesting because I was just like, here we go. Oh Lord, here we go. And then this is basically what it was. So, yeah, that's my rant. Just for right now, apologies. I'm definitely going to get more into it. Don't worry. Probably a little bit later, but I'll take a break from the ranting just so you guys can see more of the sketching process. Or if you guys have been listening while watching me sketch, of course, that's also fantastic. I just wanted to let you guys know, like, yeah, it was a very interesting movie. And at the end of the day, you love the Disney classics, and it also makes you wonder where they're going to, what direction that they're going to go into towards the future, once the live action things fizzle down, because they did mention that they weren't probably going to do live action anymore. after Snow White, and then they were already in the process of Lilo and Stitch. And so now I'm just like, okay, well, what are they gonna do now? But we'll see. Disney is always having ideas and always coming up with something. And so we'll see how they're gonna kind of get into it, especially when it comes to really, I mean, hopefully not missing the ball again, but just really getting into it one more time. But it is what it is. I'm gonna end my rant just for right now, and then I'll let the video play out a little bit, and then I'll go ahead and kind of tune back in with you guys. Perfect. Okay. Sorry, I will interject just a little bit. So this is the nice little cute messy sketch of everything. So now I'm going to start outlining each of the characters, their hair, and then all the other fine details. Again, this is just the sketching process. This isn't the actual coloring process. That one we're going to try to do again in another stream. And so that's why I'm adding the different layers and then just trying to show you guys a overall compilation of where I'm going for. Hi, Minchi. Hi. Thanks so much for stopping by. Welcome. Hi, hello, welcome. Thanks so much for stopping by. I'm streaming both on TikTok and on YouTube, just to let you guys know. So welcome. And also, if you feel like, go ahead and tell me your thoughts about the new Lilo and Stitch live action down in the chat. I already saw it and I kind of gave my opinions on it earlier on in the stream. So if you have any opinions on it, just go ahead and type it out and then we can talk about it. Thanks so much for stopping by. Welcome. Hi, hello, welcome. Thanks so much for stopping by. Just doing some Lilo and Stitch fan art. Sorry, let's skip a little bit. Just to be safe, I'm gonna check my connection one more time. Hopefully it didn't mess up for YouTube. Another thing that I really did find interesting about the live action, not the live action, I'm sorry, about the original movie as well, was just the art style of Chris Sanders. I really did like Chris Sanders' art style, and then I also follow him on Instagram, and so you get more of a more in-depth feel of how he's drawing and everything, and that was kind of very much like lighthearted and endearing. Hi, welcome. Thanks so much for stopping by. Hi, the dog. Welcome. If you've already watched the Lilo and Stitch live action, go ahead and put it down in the chat. We're just talking a little bit about it while also having just a chill little sketch session. But yeah, I really did like Chris Sanders' art style. It was very unique, especially for the original film, and it kind of says a lot. It's just not something as ordinary that you usually see, and so when you see that really be put into a 2D animation like it was just very much interesting. Okay, so this is just my own personal opinion, and of course, I'm not gonna say don't watch the movie, but if you do watch it, just be prepared for changes. I don't know if anyone's gonna watch it, and I don't want to spoil, but again, it does stray from the original source material, and it's just very interesting. Like, you'll definitely get a reaction out of it. So I'm not gonna say don't watch it, but if you do watch it, just prepare for the changes and everything. As usual, what they usually do with live actions. So I had to kind of just go back to watch the original, and then I also looked at some of Chris Sanders' original like art for it, and I just kind of found it very interesting, especially how they strayed from the material. Oh no, don't worry, don't be sorry. Like, it's all right. It was just very interesting. Like, I went to go watch it with a friend, and we both kind of looked at each other like, oh, okay. And the ending is also very interesting as well, just because it's more funny, if it makes sense. So it's not so much as like, it is like, oh my gosh, but it's also like, oh, like, I see why they went to this direction. Oh, no, you're fine. Don't worry. I've had people come in and out, so it's pretty good. And then I've also been I've also been streaming on YouTube as well. So I'm having people come in and out every now and then just to kind of pop in. And of course, it's just a chill session. It's going to be up on YouTube for people who want to watch it. And so it's also kind of relaxing as well to kind of draw and stream. Right now, I'm just playing back an older video that I did yesterday. And then also, I'm going to be streaming on Twitch later on as well. But no worries, you're good. Thanks so much for stopping by regardless. I appreciate it. But yeah, the source material was just very interesting, if that makes sense. Let's see. Another thing that I have to do is definitely... I think that's very interesting. I think I've actually already well, no, I don't think it's an anime that I've seen. Oh, why? What happened? Why were you sad? Oh, and then also, sorry, people on YouTube. I'm also streaming on TikTok as well, so that's why I'm kind of going back and forth between streams. So I'm also talking to TikTok right now, so people on YouTube, sorry about that. But yeah, but what happened? Why are you sad? Oh, well, that's interesting. What happened? What did you do? Nothing. Oh, well, don't worry about it. If that's the case, don't worry about it too much. It was probably they're probably going through their own thing, or maybe it was something else. But yeah, but as long as you're chill, you know, it's all pretty good. So don't worry too much about it. Don't let it get you down. Let me see. I actually did like how I did this right here. Da, 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 da. Yes. Don't worry too much about it. Just stay chill. There you go. But yeah, don't worry too much about it then. Just stay chill and then don't let it take up majority of your day. It is what it is. It happens here and there, so don't stress too much about it. There you go. And then, okay, I think with some of the sketches that I did here. Oh yeah, so sorry. I will add 2 followers. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. Cool. Thank you. Oh yeah, sorry. And then the people on YouTube, just go ahead and basically when you're sketching things out. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. But yeah, go ahead when you're sketching things out. Again, what I do is messy sketches sometimes. I did kind of try to do more of a neat sketch, but I realized if I know pretty much how I'm going to sketch things out, it's just easier and it's just better to kind of just do that during the inking process. Excuse me. And so you don't have to stress too much about it and just really focus and follow just flow, if that makes sense. Da, da, da. Hello, welcome, and thank you. I appreciate it. Let's see. Oh yeah, and I think I gave this advice at the last stream. When you're drawing fingers, and of course I did it really messy right here, but when you're drawing fingers, just try to imagine them more as... Welcome back. Oh, sorry. Welcome back. Sorry. How am I gonna describe drawing fingers? I guess just imagine them as tubes. I did a video or a stream about it last time, so I guess you guys can just go back and watch that one. But again, just look at your own fingers, and then after that, with your own fingers, just go ahead and just imagine them more so as tubes, so it's not too stressful, if that makes sense. And so when you do that, it really does end up, I guess, not so much stressful. It really just ends up, you think of them as like cute little sausages, if that makes sense. And then you just stack them on top of each other, and it should be easier when you're drawing, whatchamacallit, fingers. So yeah. I still struggle when it comes to, how do I explain it? I still struggle when it comes to drawing fingers and feet, just for my characters. But I wouldn't worry so much about it, and just more so, practice makes perfect, and I feel like that kind of makes the most sense. Once you get into the habit and get into the practice, then it'll make more sense for you guys, and it won't be as difficult. There you go. There you go. And then another interesting thing to do is, I guess, just getting into the habit of it, and then it'll be more of an easier and smoother process once you start getting into the flow of, I guess, habitually just drawing over and over again. So yeah, something like that. There you go. Let me make sure everything is strong on YouTube. A little sloppy, but okay. I'm trying to make sure that the connection is strong. I actually hope it won't be as packed. Hi, welcome back. There we go. I think okay, this looks actually very interesting. Drawing. Oh yeah, I love drawing a lot. If possible, I kind of want to make it my full-time thing. I really do like and enjoy drawing. It helps a lot, especially throughout the day, and I just want to kind of get better at it as well. I mean, you can start by watching YouTube videos. Practice makes perfect. And then also what I do is, especially for like drawing styles and techniques, I've been drawing a lot since I was a kid, and so any art class that I try to go to, I always try my hardest to kind of learn from that. Drawing wasn't always as easy. It's still not easy now for me, but I know like later, just getting in the practice, it'll be good. And so it's not as bad. So I like drawing a lot. With drawing, it's like learning a new technical skill. If you want to get better at it, you got to keep going and keep practicing. So, yeah, and then that's why practice makes perfect, and it's easier to kind of lose a skill, a really cool skill, especially if you haven't done it in a while. And so that's why just kind of getting those reflex muscles in your brain going to see how certain things are, it really helps a lot. Before, my art style was like a little bit different than this one, but as time went on, it did start to change a little bit just because I took a break because I haven't drawn in a while. But then going back to it, I'm like, okay, no, like I really like this and it's really good. So when it comes to drawing, it's just repetition and just keeping at it, constantly keeping at it, just to make sure that you don't forget some of the core things that you learned from it. Like it is what it is, you know? Let's see. There you go. Let's see. Actually, let me go in here and look at the central power of the... Let me double check the connection one more time. Let me actually see. Oh yeah, that's good. Start off from there. Sorry, I'm trying to make sure the connection is strong. I really don't want it to chop off from YouTube. But yeah, just start little by little like that. Just draw what you think is going to be easiest for you. So draw things like profile picture just to kind of put on your account, and then just start off from there. And then again, one of the key resources to drawing, and then this is what all artists kind of admit to themselves, just look for good references to practice with. Look for good references to practice with. There you go. Sorry. And then from there, you should be good. You can start off with something simple, or you can kind of just make it into a new thing. There we go. Okay, I think the connection is still good. I really don't want to just stop all of a sudden, knock on wood. Okay, now we are going to... No worries! Okay, I'm also probably later in either in the stream or just later off camera, I'm also going to try to correct some of the things here just to make sure that's good. Bye! Thanks so much for stopping by, and thanks for chatting with me. I appreciate it. See you later! But yeah, I'm also gonna make sure I fix the details a little bit, just because it does look kind of messy. Let me see. Okay, let me see. Let's see. Get this. There we go. Okay, so for those of you guys who might see this video later, as you can see with the line art process, you also have to make sure that, just make sure that everything's straight and you have an overall general idea of where all the lines are gonna go. You can say that that's where the sketch comes into play as a sort of guide. However, lots of people, especially when it comes to certain line art, it's not easy getting the line to kind of be so perfectly in tune with everything, and so that's how people end up messing up, and then that's how they have to kind of go back. One of the key aspects to make sure that that doesn't happen is when you're decreasing the occupancy of the sketch, try to decrease it a little bit lower than what I have right now, just so you can be able to see it clearly, sorry, just so that you're able to make the sketches a lot more, I guess the best word for it is cleaner, as you're doing the inking process yourself. So I did actually mess up here, so I'm going to fast forward it just a little bit. There you go, to the corrected one. So that way you guys can see. Cool. I might just do some more regular sketches, just like how I've been doing before, just kind of to get the practice in. And just practice different positions for my characters as well. Oh dear. Okay. And then Disney is considering another live action. They got it online. There we go. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, so this should be good. And then let me... let's see. Here we go. Okay, so far so good. Alrighty. Let me make sure. Okay. Okay, let me make sure that everything is working correctly. Oh, that looks interesting. Perfect. Let me come with this. I gotta fix this. Oh, hi, hello, welcome back. Oh, yay, that looks really nice. Can I see it? Let me see. No worries, it still looks really nice. Car safety. No fears on. Oh, that's beautiful. Yeah, no worries. It still looks pretty good for your finger. Let's see if I can do this. What else can I... Oh, I do need to edit this. I completely forgot. Let's see. I gotta fix this. Okay, I think I'll go ahead and fix this a little bit off camera to make it look sense. Hi, welcome back. I'm doing good. Thanks for joining in again. Welcome. Noticing. Oh yeah. Let me actually do a quick breakdown or a brief explanation for YouTube. Or how am I going to do the breakdown? So once again, I was just trying to keep up with the original art style of Chris Sanders. Of course, it's not going to be perfect, but just kind of, I'll go back and correct some of these a little bit off stream. But yeah, just to make sure that everything is looking good and to make sure that everything is all right. I also want to make sure that everything is a little bit more consistent, and also making sure it's not, I guess, too choppy. And then that also goes back into what I said before when it comes to line art. Oh, no worries, you're good. Just go back into what I said before when it comes to line art, to making sure that everything's all neat and not as messy. And then during this video is probably because I probably should have just decreased the occupancy of my sketch just to make it look a little bit better. But it should be fine if I'm not mistaken. And I just had to kind of go back and adjust it a little bit. Yeah. I think but yeah. Stitch's character overall is really cute now that I kind of go back and look on it, just to make sure everything's pretty cool. Okay, I'm in that all. Perfect. Oh wow, this actually looks pretty great. Oh, that's pretty actually. Gonna go back and adjust some things. Wait, wouldn't... Alright, now I just gotta fix this. Let's see. There you go. Let me see if I can fix this one. Maybe something from online. That'd be cool. Alright, YouTube, holding on strong. Perfect and perfection. Welcome, welcome. Alright, and now we're on the final section of the picture. Almost done, but it is going to take just a little bit longer. Dun, dun, drawing Stitch. Just move it. Do, do, do. Hello, welcome. Thanks so much for stopping by. Welcome. Hello, welcome. Thanks so much for stopping by. Welcome. There you go. And I think during this process, just drawing Nani, I used the box method just to make sure that I got her form and her shape right. But again, this is just the replica of the picture that Lilo had in her, or underneath her pillow, and then just adding the stitch one. And then just for a little bit of, I guess, contents, the whole reason why Lilo named him Stitch was because he was supposed to be the stitch, the thread or whatever, that mended their broken family. Which makes sense coming into contents. And it makes a lot more sense relative than the live action. So yeah, also another reason why the original did a very good job compared to the live action. There we go. Alright, now time for Lilo and the rest of her family.
At Granger, we're for the ones who pay attention to every little detail, the ones who fuss, tinker, and sweat the small stuff. Because you know the tiniest thing can make the biggest difference when it comes to keeping business moving. We get it. We're the same way, offering access to product experts to help you quickly and easily find what you need. So whatever your industry, you know you're always getting professional grade products. Call, click Granger.com.
Apologies for the ads.
Granger, for the ones who get it done.
Oh, my bad. Skip a little bit. Apologies. Should have paid attention at that part. Alright, I'm gonna fast forward through some of this a little bit just because some of the parts were kind of a little bit unnecessary and then I did freeze on Krita. But I'll show you just kind of where we left off momentarily. There we go. It's actually looking pretty good. There we go. So far, so good. And then while I was drawing the dad, I did have a couple of difficulties just to make sure the proportion wise it was fairly good. But overall, I do like how I kind of ended up with it. It was really more so just drawing his face that kind of got me. There we go. There we go, and we're almost there. That was the part that I should have skipped. There you go. Alright, and we're almost done. Go. Alright, so that's the way that I sketched out everything throughout this process. So now what I'm going to do is I probably am going to skip the face part, just because you'll already see their faces once I start doing more cleanup. But so far so good. This is where we are at. And then of course I just erased the line right here. And so I am going to go ahead and end this stream for right now. For those of you who stuck around to watch this video all the way to the end, I just want to say thank you so much. I appreciate you immensely. And then of course, if you haven't already, please check out my other social media, link in my description. And if you feel like joining on to my Patreon or shooting me a coffee, I would appreciate that as well. In the next stream, we're going to go ahead and start the coloring process. That will most definitely take a while. And then at the stream after that, we'll go ahead and start a new sketch in between. So yeah, I'll just go ahead and just play out a little bit more of this video. And then after that, I'll show you the final results for the inking process on the actual page itself. So I'll go ahead and pause. And then exit. But yeah, this is the finished result right here. Perfect. And it's been about 2 hours, yes. So of course, this is just some cute little fan art just to kind of dedicate to the original film and the emotion that was streaming behind it. Again, you guys can go ahead and watch the live action if you want, but just the actual emotion and portrayal from the original just kind of set the tone a lot better. So yeah, in the next stream, I'll go ahead and color, and then after that, we can go ahead and continue on with more sketches. Once again, thank you so much for sticking around this long, and I can't wait to see you guys next time. Alrighty, everybody. Bye-bye. Have a great one.